Yeah, and also vibe coding.
Mm.
So now that even though we are not engineers, but we can create the prototypes from scratch.
Maybe this situation doesn't happen like 10 years ago because of no vibe coding. What do you think?
Yeah, totally understand. Especially we weren't able to implement within one day.
Yeah.
And at that time, only 4 hours.
So today I am interviewing this rock and roll star, Sae. Could you please introduce yourself? Yeah.
Hello, I'm Sae. I'm currently working in Mercari as an iOS engineer, but I also started hackathon communities 1.5 years ago. So the name is MeltingHack. It's a international hackathon community based in Tokyo.
Yeah.
When we host the hackathon, only 20 or 15 participants joins. But gradually, which companies are Intel, Apple's, and also Stability AIs. These companies support our activities and then gradually become popular. And so my first career was SoftBank, and then I worked as an AI engineer, supported Pepper. It's a humanoid robotics. And so Pepper sponsored Junction Tokyo. So that was my start point.
Okay.
At first, at that time I totally didn't know what is hackathons, and then I just emerging. It's really high levels. Probably I wasn't able to contribute a lot, so that's why I really scared. But I joined as a sponsors at that time, and then I impressed a lot. Everyone's implement application within a short time.
Yeah.
Like 2 days, 48 hours. Everyone creates the application from scratch. Also, team up in day one.
Yeah.
So they didn't prepare at all before starting the hackathon. So that was really impressed for me, and then I decided to join next time as a participant. So this is my and then next year after graduate to the university, and then I joined as a participant in Junction Tokyo.
I see. So totally, how many times did you join Junction Tokyo?
Okay, good question. Junction Tokyo. So 2017 as a sponsorship, and then 2018 and 19. So probably these 2 years I joined as a participant.
I see.
So, but after that, I really excited to join, participate. I really want to see other hackathons, especially globally. Yeah. That's why I went to Junction, Singapore, and then Finland, South Korea.
At that time, so you went to the Singapore or other country to join hackathon. Only yourself, or you invited your people as a team?
Yeah, good questions. So of course I want to keep the quality of the teams. That's why I usually have some hackathon friends. So we team up with a few members, but usually we can team up to 5. That's why we recruit in a day once.
Really?
Yeah, that's also interesting point. Since of course we can to make a synergy. It's a really exciting point. And we don't need to prepare in advance. So I usually team up with a few members and then recruit a few more exciting members.
In the local. Join.
So diversity members. It's really fun.
Yeah, speaking of diversity, the reason why I could interview him today is one, our friend Alejo's introduction, and second, I could attend the ByteDance Hackathon 2 weeks ago, which he one of the co-hosted member, and it was so unique experience. So I always wanted to join hackathon, but I afraid of I scared of if I bother to builders. But the concept was vibe coding, and I really wanted to learn vibe coding, and I wanted to observe how people use the software and the vibe coding and build the product mock-up quick. And I wanted to see what kind of people are participants. And as you mentioned, my team was so diverse. In 2 Indian guys and also other Asian lady and 2 Japanese ladies, and only 2 people inside of the team was engineer. But we could somehow build and prepare a pitch, and we could pitch. Yeah, it was so interesting experience. Thank you.
Yeah, and also, yeah, your team works really well, right? So
Yeah.
it was really diversity teams, not only nationality, but also age diversity and the gender balance.
Yes. And also role. Non-engineer also could join.
That's true. Yeah, and also, yeah, vibe coding. So now that even though we are not engineers, but we can create the prototypes from scratch. In this case, probably, of course, business side and also kind of designer. How can we show the service? So the diversity of roles is also important.
Yeah. Maybe this situation doesn't happen like 10 years ago because of no vibe coding. What do you think?
Yeah, totally understand. Especially we weren't able to implement within one day.
Yeah.
And at that time, only 4 hours.
Yeah, we started after lunch and then finished at 6, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like, you are right, 4 hours.
It's too hard
Yeah.
sometimes. Yeah, definitely. So before COVID pandemic, we usually call it a weekend style hackathon. Start from evening of Friday, and then we will start the pitch from the evening of Sunday.
I see.
That's why 48 hours hackathon.
This is a kind of a traditional style of hackathon.
Yes, especially offline.
Offline, I see.
Online one is a little more longer, like a week style or a month style.
I see. I really enjoyed like offline because of I wanted to interact with people, so appreciated the opportunity. So fun.
Yeah. Actually, you enjoy a lot.
I was
in that event space.
Yeah, so fun networking time.
Yeah, true. So of course, there are so many meetup events or networking events in Tokyo, right? But we're really not sure who are you, what do you do usually. So that's really hard to do some networkings. It's a little bit hard to communicate, starting the conversations. But we work together, even though it's a short time. And then we display what we did, what we create. So we already have topics, and then we have a motivation why I want to talk with you. So that's a really good networking. If you have a hackathon.
I love that.
Of course, from the beginning point, we are so many AI coding tools like Cursor, Clodo, ChatGPT, Cortex or some things. That's why we don't need to care at all how can we implement applications. And we also don't need to care how a LLM model works. So that's why previously we talked we can implement application within 3 or 4 hours. But let's move on, dive into the next topic, AI agent. When we create the AI agent, like NAN, Zapier, or what is DeFi とか. So such kind of AI agent tools currently we can easily create the agents and then easily connect with external service. Still easy. How can we implement? And then we can create the automation tools. So that's also really valuable. But we still don't need to care how LLM works. And then gradually our trend moved to much more deeper. So vibe coding is so easy, AI agent still easy to create, but LLM a little bit deep, and then we might think it's a little bit hard to understand. But I decided to host that event, and then
With Meta?
With Meta, yes. And then I also at the times I also scared since when I was a university student, I studied AI, and then my first career, SoftBank, I also used AI tools. But after that, I totally don't use it. That's why I'm also a little bit scared. I'm not an AI engineer. How can I host the event? But I started using LLM, especially Llama. But I also compare with other services like DeepSeek, Quen, what is Gemma. So and then compares what's the good point, what's the bad point. And then gradually understand, Oshi, that's really good. I really love it.
Yeah, Oshi is the, what can I say, like the specific point, and we feel, oh, cute, or not cute, but so attractive.
Attractiveness, yes. So, and then that makes me motivated. And then organizer is one of fun. So that's why participants also learn the good point, and then they also want to try the tools and the functions. So after that, even though they just participate, but they can learn a lot, and then they satisfied, and then they also want to try new things and then communicate each other's. They also find their own oshi, and then they also can communicate. I found this one. Oh, that's good, and then like.
This is the best moment.
Yeah, best moment. Yeah.
For participants and also organizer side.
Yeah.
I really love how you are passionate to join and hosting the hackathon.
So that's why. When I host the hackathons, I just provide what I want to join as a participants. If I can't enjoy by joining this hackathon, then this hackathon might be not valuable. So the most key part is whether I can enjoy or not, and then provide the valuable events.
I love that. So next question. So it's already November, 2025 is almost all like finishing. So what do you think in 2026? What kind of a hackathon you want to try?
Oh, thanks so much. And that's really good questions.
Yeah.
So MeltingHack, we already ran 1.5 years. So it's almost 2 years. Right? And then our third year we want to make a little more healthy organizations, since we still communities, but we also need to earn to keep the organization more healthier. We want to support, how can I say, organization is also kind of hackathons. It's not a profitable company. That's why we want to provide money or cash. Even it doesn't need to be expensive, but so keep the motivations for everyone's contributions, and then make it more bigger. And then if the organization becomes more healthy, and then everyone also wants support and they wants to join, and then probably next mission is we need to become concrete organizations. But that's our missions.
I see.
And then if we can achieve in the next year, probably we can try other countries. Since Japan is so healthy, and then I can focus on the another country, or we can collaborate with a global hackathon organizers.
It's so interesting, and it's enough to you can achieve the goal because you already have a connection with
several organizations.
Right?
Yeah. Of course, it's not it's kind of give and take, or just contribute each other. So it's kind of community. So of course, I'm really happy if you can support us. If you're interested in contribute hackathon communities, that's really happy. And then if you're also interested in hosting hackathon in your side, that's also fine. I'm also really happy to support you.
I see.
It doesn't need to be collaborate with MeltingHack. There are several ways, like judges, guest, mentor, or what it is. Just contribute, introducing, promoting. what it is. Just joining as a participant is also fine.
I see. So in order to support your activity, so our audience could be a judge, could be a participant, could be like a venue sponsor or food sponsor or mentor.
Mentor, yeah.
Really?
That's also important. Since, so of course, usually we need to provide a theme in the hackathons.
Yeah.
That's why most of the participants use the tools for the first time. Probably they may struggle how can they use, and then if they feel, oh, this tool is useless, we don't want to use it anymore. In this experience, it's a little bit bad, right? That's why we need to provide technical sponsor, technical mentors, also like support ideation mentor, business side designer mentor. So several mentors support every participant's qualities. Even though, for example, specific team only have engineers, they don't have a business side and designers. In this case, probably the prototype might be high qualities, but they can't display how it's good. They're not good at making a presentation. In this case, the external mentor might be helpful.
Makes sense. Yeah, so if you want to support or just connect to Sae, please reach out his LinkedIn. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Sae.
Thank you.
Perfect. Bye-bye.
Oh, bye.
Okay. The 3 key takeaways from the conversation with Sae. 1. Hackathons create real community through conversation, through collaboration. Hackathons help people connect in a natural, meaningful way because everyone builds something together. Example. At the ByteDance Hackathon I joined, my diverse team built a working prototype in only 4 hours and pitched. Everyone collaborated from zero. Networking became easy and fun. Hackathons create deeper connections than normal networking events because everyone shares the same "we build something" experience. 2. Diversity makes hackathons stronger. Roles, skills, nationalities. Sae believes the best hackathon teams include engineers, designers, business people, beginners, and different nationalities. Example, even if someone cannot code, AI and vibe coding tools allow them to create UI screens, write ideas, or prepare the pitch. This means anyone can join, not just engineers. This diversity leads to more creative ideas and stronger teamwork. 3. We are now in the vibe coding era. Anyone can build in just hours. Sae explains that hackathons have changed dramatically. We have entered the vibe coding era, where you don't need deep technical knowledge to build something real. Example, 10 years ago or traditional hackathon. Hackathon took 48 hours. Only engineer could build. You need to understand code and AI models deeply. Today, you can build a prototype in 3 to 4 hours. AI tools like ChatGPT, Cloud, Gemini, and vibe coding tools let beginners build instantly. AI agent can connect service without knowing back-end code. Non-engineers can now join and create impact. This new era makes hackathon more open, more fun, and more accessible for everyone. So, thanks to my first hackathon experience with Sae co-hosted, I'm excited to join other hackathon and also want to learn how to organize the hackathon. And also my community, AI Founders Mindset podcast, it became not only online community, it became a offline community as well. So if you are in Tokyo or if you are traveling to Tokyo, please let me know. I often co-host events with other organizations like VC firm or startups, or sometimes government. Yeah, recently I hosted a talk event at Andorra, Japan, invited 2 Japanese corporates who have US office, and also 2 startup founders who are exactly aiming to the US market. One of my guest speakers was Manas Kara, the co-founder of Veritas. He is offering us to use the Veritas. It's his product to help researchers to research deeply, quickly, efficiency, and effectively. From my episode description, you can find the link. Please check it. Okay? Thank you so much. Bye bye. またね。チャオ。